Some of you have a foot fetish, some of you have an ear fetish, and some of you might even have a food fetish. But I bet there's one fetish that not only do you not have, not a chance, but there's a fetish that you've never even heard of. This man, Julius, is not only addicted to balloons, but he's in a sexual relationship with them. Julius spends most of his downtime rescuing less fortunate balloons from the local dealership, and he even sleeps with them rather than sleeping with his wife. And before I drop this shit on you from the top turnbuckle, I just want to say it's okay to have a weird fetish. It's 2025, damn it, and you're a bigot if you don't identify as a fish or have sex with inanimate objects.
My name is Julius. I'm 62 years old, and I'm addicted to balloons. They're beautiful. They're soft, smooth, delicate. I have a connection with them. Intellectually, I know that balloons are not alive, but sometimes I wonder if it's my love for them that brings them to life.
Now, as Julius sits and describes these balloons like a goddess's ass that's been lathered in Diddy's baby oil, you can't help but wonder, where would a fetish like this start? And for him, it started at a very early age.
Julius has been addicted to balloons for over 5 decades. It started when he was a child as an innocent attraction to the shapes and colors. Now Julius has filled his home with over 50,000 balloons and can't sleep unless he's surrounded by them.
I sleep in my balloon room every night. When I wake up in the morning, it's like being in balloon heaven.
But Julius's obsession with balloons goes beyond shapes and colors.
My love for balloons, it's also a sexual love. When I see a beautiful balloon, my heart starts to flutter and I get aroused. I'll take a 12-inch and I'll inflate it to 11-inch. That way it can take a lot of abuse.
Now, I don't know what kind of abuse that he's putting these balloons through, but he's describing these things like I would describe myself when I seen my first pair of titties on the internet, which was way back during dial-up, and it happened to be China the wrestler, and as it loaded, and if you remember dial-up, it loaded line by line, just couldn't wait until it got to the titty. But I wasn't abusing any balloons at that time, but there was something that was getting a spanking.
I'm holding one, hugging it. I'll kiss it, and it's like being in heaven. I mean, don't you like to hug and kiss a woman that you love? There's lots of people out there that feel the same way as I do about balloons. But there's 2 groups of the lunar group. You got the poppers that get aroused by popping balloons, and you got your non-poppers.
In a world full of poppers and knob poppers, which side of the fence do you find yourself on? I would imagine that there's a lot more knob poppers out there than poppers, because a lot of people are scared of popping balloons.
I'm a non-popper.
Julius's addiction to balloons started when he was hospitalized at just 4 years old.
My mother come to visit one time, and she gave me a real nice blue balloon. But that night, the nurse grabbed it, and I heard the balloon pop. So after she left, I just cried myself to sleep.
Since then, the sound of a balloon popping devastates Julius, and he even rescues balloons he believes to be in danger.
Now, it's common to see people rescue the homeless and the hungry, or stray dogs, or other endangered species, but to see somebody rescue balloons is actually insane. While you might wake up and put on your work uniform and strap on your boots and get ready for a hard day's work, this guy puts on his cape and his mask and he sets out to rescue balloons.
I'll go to car dealerships and do what I call a balloon rescue. When they set them out early in the morning, they're really beautiful. And as the sun bakes on them, they get really dull, misshapen. I feel, like I give them a second chance at life.
But Julius doesn't share his extreme love for balloons with many people.
The only people that know him is my family. My wife thinks it's strange, but she accepts it.
The fact that he feels like he has to keep it a secret definitely points that there is a problem.
I see nothing wrong with loving balloons. It's not hurting anybody. It's not dangerous, and I have no desire to change.
Today, his nephew, who's also an addiction counselor, wants to confront the issue and convince Julius to see a therapist.
I've heard through the family a little talk about your balloons, about your balloon room.
So what kind of questions do you have?
What do you get out of your balloons emotionally?
When I inflate them, it seems like they come to life for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that there was some physical attachment to these balloons, maybe sexually.
There's sexual overtones to it.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it that gives you that sense? Is it a smell or a feel?
It's all of it. It's all of it. It's the feel, the smell,
The looks?
the looks, and I don't want to go any further into that.
Okay. You ever think that maybe there's something wrong?
Nope.
You know,
Yes.
nothing. If you feel like it, you have to keep things hidden, especially something like this. There's obviously a problem. Do you think you'll ever give it up?
Nope.
No.
No.
Definite no.
Definite no. Hell, I've been doing it too long. I don't have a problem.
Right, right.
So why be concerned? Everybody's trying to make me think like I got a problem. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Now, Julius seems to be set in his ways, and he doesn't look at it as he's got a problem. And he even goes on to say that he saw a therapist, and the therapist told him that, you know, it's victimless, that he's not hurting anybody, so there's no need to change. But he obviously isn't in touch with reality if he's falling in love, having relationships, and even worse, banging a balloon. And I know that there's all kinds of weird fetishes out there. This is just one of the weirder ones that I've seen, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. But that's all I got.